Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will finally start what I have avoided for so long, and I will start creating bus lines running from the west of Espoo to the middle of nowhere, in here and in here. And we will start this massive operation today with bus line 243, which runs from Espoo railway station all the way to Veikkola in northern Kirkkonummi. We'll start by creating a line. And this is because the start of the line has already been built. So we start from here. After that we stop at Kaivamestarin and then we stop at Kirkkopuisto. Then we stop at Nimismiehen pelto, at Nimismiehen mäki, at Muuralan kumpu, Muuralan silta, at Mikkelsin kuja. Then there would be a stop at Piteren portti, but not today. Let's go this way. Okay, then let's move the signals a bit. Then let's build this stretch of road here. And stop at Mikkelenkallio. Then we'll stop at Muurahaisentie. And then at Rintamäen Tanhua. And now we will move on to new sections of the routes after Rintamäen Tanhua. The first stop is called Karhuniityn tie. And now I will just have to find it. Okay, so Karhuniityn tie in Swedish is Björningsvägen, and it's going to be located all the way in here. So despite being a fairly long line, there will not be too many stops on it. The distances between the stops are fairly long. And that's of course because we are moving pretty quickly to rural Finland. I mean, the city really ends here. And the city really ends here nowadays. Of course, it can still grow in the future, but I mean, at the moment it ends here. So the following stop is called Hallava, Grås, where is that gonna be? It's gonna be over here. Then after halva, we, we will stop at Veikkaustie, Tippningsvägen. An interesting name for a stop, really. There we go. And are we even close? Well, we're not even close. Our goal is in the left corner of the screen at Veikkola. But despite that, and coming such a short while, we've created at least half of the stops. Or at least almost half of the stops. In fact, more than half of the stops. Then we will stop at the Nupuriristi. Nupurkorset. After Nupuriristi, we stop at Rauhamäki Freesbakka. After that, we stop at Histansilta, Histabron, And after Histansilta we stop at Espoo. In Swedish that's Kärringmossen, and there is a massive landfill in here. Sorry. Getting closer and getting closer fast actually. I thought this would be a long video, but it turns out this was not the thing. Well, I'm actually fairly glad about it. Because no one likes to watch me babbling an hour drawing lines on a map. After Espoo we stop at Kolmpere. Kolmpers. Kolmpere? What? Oh yeah, it's Kolmpere, not Kolmipere. Sorry, I've always thought that's wrong. After Kolmpere, we will stop at Kolmperen Risti. Kolmperskorset. And if you're wondering why I'm still creating city roads despite being in the rural areas, this road is not that fast. I think the speed limit is no more than 50 or 60 until after Veikkola. Because this is the old, very old road to Turku, replaced decades ago with a motorway. And it's only, wait a second, it's only I think somewhere around here where it starts being a ordinary highway. So that's why we're taking it slow in here. I could of course check the real speed limit, but I don't think that's necessary at the moment. Our following stop is called Laitamaantie. Laitamaväyin. after Laitamantie, we will then stop at Kivilammentie. And this is actually one of the strange features of this line. The Kivilammentie stop is here at the rural hotel, so we will just take a little turn there. Sorry about that. Oops. The entire stop is in the wrong place. Wait, it isn't. What am I actually doing here? Well, the layout is a bit strange. Yes, it is in the right place. Sorry. There we go. That's done. Then from here, I will actually create a straight road in here because I think I know what's coming. But there we go. But let's see what's gonna come next. The answer is me. Just kidding. The following stop after Kivilammentie is Hauklammentie. Hauklampivägen. Whoops. That turned out to be an interesting decision. Then we will stop at the Haapapurontie. Haapapurovägin. And now we are already on the Kirkkonummi side of things. So And let's see how far we are. We're definitely not far anymore, and we've come quite a long way in quite a short time. But that is because there are no stops, or the stops are very scarcely located. So after Haapapurantie, we will then stop at Teollisuustie. I won't have to be a prophet if I say that it will be Industrivägen. That's correct. So Teollisuustie, Industrivägen is obviously around here. There is an industrial area right there. And after Teollisuustie, I will then stop at Tuulensuun Raitti. Tuulensuun Bygata. And then we will stop at Veikkola, which is the central stop in Veikkola. And it's called Veikkola. It doesn't have a Swedish speaking name, but it's in here right in the middle of the village. There we go. And then we will stop at Impivarantie. Where is that? Impivarantie is only in Finnish, which is once again pretty strange. And it's also a one-way stop. After Impivarantie, we will stop at Paasitie, Helväin, which is also a one-way stop. And there will be a nice little loop here at the end of the line. I will just create a double road. I won't start playing. Whoops. Well, you have a little twist there. Perhaps the road has to flinch something. I don't know. Just won't spend my time on rebuilding it. Sorry about that. After positive, we will then stop at the Välipurontie, which is also the terminus of this line. But Välipurontie Mellanbäckvägen. But this is not the end of things here. Then we will stop at. Oh, yes, that was the terminus. Now let's see how this line runs to the other direction. Because that's equally important. And there we have the answer. The following stop is called Kulotie, and it's called Brändvägen, and it's right over here. So this line actually loops around this little lake here. And after Kulotie, we stop at the Vuoritie. Bergvägen, which is over here. There we go. Oops. And after a Vuoritie, we will stop at the Palopolku, Brandstein, which is already on the main road in here. Okay, another interesting feature here. Let's cut it a bit shorter. For some reason there I have difficulties keeping the road straight. Maybe the road engineer was a bit drunk. Maybe not. Oops. Also the signal guy is a bit drunk, it seems. Yeah, it's definitely them. I am not drunk. After Brandstein, we will still stop at Puronsuuntie, which is the following stop. Bäckmynningsvägen. And that will be here. After Puransuuntie, the following stop will then be at Lamminpääntie. And I don't think I have yet created, no. So Lamminpääntie, Lamminpäävägen is on both sides of this crossing. So, there we are. Oops. The Veikkola loop has been created. And that's about it with the roads in this video. Then we'll have to get back to the bus line, but that won't take long. Promise you. That's an easy promise. So, back to lines. We last stopped at Rintamäentanhua in Espoo, and then we're just gonna stop at every stop I've just built on this line. So, there was almost something missed over there. Luckily I double checked. And then there is this small little, how would you put it? Detour to the hotel. And then let's go back to Espoo. All, of course, all the way via that little distraction over there. And there we go. All set. That was the line. Then let's have a look at the timetable. Well, would you look at that? It's between an hour and 45 minutes. So let's place it there. Then we'll go to the trains and we'll check the latest Lion City from here, or no, the Wima. Sorry about that. Then we will clone it. And then we will place it on the line. Which of course is 2:43. And then let's see what happens. We are at the moment at 1 hour 40 minutes. So let's buy a second bus. And that'll do it. Yes, that's it. 50 minutes is a good interval. 50 minutes is a really, really good interval, and that's it. So, roads have been built, line has been created, buses have been bought, and there will be a new video tomorrow. So until then, bye!